Greetings, welcome along to another week. It's another Monday, and we're back once again with a pottering about stream. Nothing particularly special, but we're edging ever so much closer now to the next population milestone, which is 48,000 people in my rather nice city that I'm getting quite fond of Portland, which you can just see in the background. The game's paused. We haven't started yet. We're about to get on with it and start messing around. And I'll talk you through how things have been progressing since the last time I was on the stream. I've been playing a little bit off stream, as I tend to do as well. And we'll see how things go. I think without further ado, we'll get on with it. If I can find the game window. There it is. Okay, so welcome back to Portland. My city. Oh, don't crash straight away. Oh no, there we go. I was worried then. Everything just froze for a second. That was concerning. So yes, welcome back to Portland, my city of 43,000 people, which is growing at a very modest and very calm rate, but it is growing. At the end of the last stream, we were hovering around 39,000 people, maybe just edging 40,000. It was sort of hovering around a rough, that sort of rough level. It was just dropping ever so slightly from a start of maybe 40,500 down to 39,500, but it was hovering around that sort of level. Since then, I've had population growth. As you can see, we've got 43,000. Yes, okay, it's dropped slightly, but you know, who's counting really? There's been some. When did I last do the development round here? I think that was on stream, so this is nothing particularly new if you've been following the development of the city, but this is the newest residential, commercial and industrial districts, if you like. But since putting these in, we've got a very complicated road network going in over here. And we've got a department store. So a retail centre, if you like. And the reason for this complicated road network is to make sure that people can get to the retail centre relatively smoothly. But as you might see, maybe things aren't going quite according to plan with this bit. Let's talk about this road first of all, though. This is the bypass. This is a key road that takes you around the city. It's a ring road of sorts. It has a few exits in the form of large roundabouts all the way around, and it stops up here. Okay, this hasn't got well, okay, there's some work to do here, but I'll explain that in a moment. The intention will be, when I can get some more land, is to bring the ring road right around here as well, or maybe in the outside of the motorway and use this area to expand. But anyway, the ring road will come around and connect up over here. So we'll have a proper key road that will take you right around the city with a few junctions in the form of the large roundabouts, which should mean that traffic flows smoothly. There's no crossroads, no traffic lights, no stop signs to get in the way of smooth traffic flow. And in that end, the key way of getting around the city will be to come out on your nearest junction, go around, and then come back in. Whether cars do that or not is a whole nother matter. But that is the idea. That is the thought process that goes on in my head as we design this city and we try to accommodate the traffic, which in real life is a fruitless exercise. I've spoken before on this channel about the problems with induced demand, whereas you build roads and you increase capacity, maybe you widen roads, all that will happen is the traffic will increase to fill that new space, and you're back at square one before you even know it. So that's the intention with this road. Now, at the end of the last stream, this road was all flat against the ground. Now, this is not a highway, this is not a motorway, it's a two-lane road, six lanes, 3 in each direction. And the problem with this sort of road is that if you have it level with the ground, you can zone on it. I don't want to zone around this road because I don't want people really stopping. The idea is that you just get on this road, you drive to the next junction or the next junction after that, wherever you're going, and you go back into the city for whatever reason you want. Not that you drive along this road, park up on the side, and pop to the shops, or pop to you, or pop home, or whatever it might be. So I have been working on raising this road so it is an elevated road throughout, which means no zoning. It also means that small roads can pass underneath it very easily without having to worry about intersections, because the key thing is we do not put intersections on this road other than on the roundabouts. That's the whole point. So yeah, since the last stream, this didn't happen on stream, but I replaced the road that already existed and just raised it up, and you'll see that even the roundabouts, they're all raised. As we go around, there is nowhere on this road at the moment that you can zone, and that is the key importance as we go around. This also has an advantage over here because this part of the city is vulnerable to tsunamis. It's been affected by tsunamis a few times. We've got a raised bank now to try and protect the city a bit against any water that may come over. However, this road being raised up now also protects the road itself from modest amounts of water. I don't know if it would protect against the level 10. It may not. But it should, I hope, protect against a level 7 and lower. So this stays risen all the way around. We've got the bridge. Obviously, we can't do anything there anyway. It's risen over to here, and that's when I got bored and stopped doing it. So at some point, probably today, I will replace this roundabout with a raised roundabout and bring this road here in as a raised road, because if we look at the moment, if we look at zoning, excuse me, if we look at zoning, we can see there's the opportunity here to put in zones. Now I could of course just say to myself, no, I'm not going to put zones in there. Why would I want to do that? Let's just is the audio loud enough? It's not very loud, is it? There you go. Have a bit more sound. This is a bit quiet. Why does it sound so quiet? I can hear it in my ears, but the meter looks a little low. Let's just nudge that up slightly. There you go. Have some audio. Enjoy the dulcet tones of cities' skylines. Anyway, as I was saying, I can of course just say to myself, I'm not going to zone here, but I know that at some point I'm going to zone there. If I see empty zoning, I'm going to click it. I'm going to fill it in with something. I'm going to think, oh, I need some industry. Where can I put that without creating a whole new district? Ah, there's some space. I'll zone it there. So I don't want to be doing that by accident, forgetting, particularly as the city expands. If the city expands and comes over to here, for example, this road sort of disappears into the hustle and bustle of the city, then I might forget it's there. So the key thing is we're going to raise this up. We're going to raise this roundabout up, and then that will become completely reserved for, you won't be able to zone there at all. So to do that, we're going to start with the roundabout. I'm going to pause the game, because it is going to affect traffic in and out. And we're just going to take out little bits here. We might need to take out a bit more, because we've got to accommodate the pre-built roundabout, which already has exits. But if I spin it a bit, then it shouldn't matter too much. Just a bit. There we go. So if we go around about here-ish, we can take these predefined exits away from the roundabouts, and then we can just reconnect the motorway slip road. Let's put an arc on there, and we just need to turn it around. There we go. And the same over here. Slight arc. Space already occupied. Why is the space already occupied? Don't tell me that. There we go. There we go. That reconnects the motorway there. And we need to reconnect this bridge. That is a 2-lane road. We'll just go straight on like so. And then over here. Oh, you idiot. Do you know, I wanted this raised. This is the whole point of demolishing the roundabout. I wanted it a raised roundabout ever so slightly. What have I done? It's not raised. It's not raised. Just gone and done that, and it's not raised. So essentially, I've deleted something, and I've put it straight back in exactly as it was. It's not very good. Right. We shall try that again. Roundabout. Spin it slightly so that it's not getting interfered with by those junctions that already exist. Raise it up. There we go. That's what we want. Slightly raised roundabout. Now once again, say bye-bye to the predefined exits. And once again, we'll put the slip roads on. We're not upgrading at this point. Do that in a minute. Just going to do a slight curve. Whoops. Slope too steep. Okay, not a problem. We just have to go back a little bit more. Because we do need to give it room to actually have a bit of a ramp. And we're going to upgrade that just to turn it around. Like so. Is that right? It says there's a dead end. Why does it say there's a dead end? There shouldn't be a dead end. Going down. Ah, why is this turned around? Interesting. There we go. And then we're going to do exactly the same again over this side. We might find we need to bring that back again because of the slope. We need to have a little bit of a slope. But no, this time it's fine. And we need the 2-lane road to connect up here, which is obviously a bridge, so it's already elevated. Oh, we don't want to be doing that. We do not want to be doing that. Straight across. There we go. We'll not worry about raising this roundabout. It's not part of the bypass, so this is fine as it is. I mean, it's not that important that this one was raised, but the intention is over time that the bypass will continue around the city. So to keep the whole bypass at the same level, or at least the same raised level. I mean, it's not going to be the same level throughout because of contours of the land, obviously. So, but to keep the bypass running the same, it's nice to have that raised up now, and then it's done, and we don't have to worry about it at a later date. Okay, just connect that one in there. And then we've got the bypass itself to deal with. So all of this is going to have to go. And here. And I'll do it here as well. So we've got a 6-lane road. Put a slight curve on it. And let's see if we can just build it in one long stretch. We can. Excellent. Sometimes it wants to try and put the road down to the ground level. But that's kept it nicely elevated all the way around. So now we have the bypass there, which cannot be built against. So it should remain a nice, free flowing road. That's the plan. As I say, whether it works, whether people actually decide, yes, I'm going to come out the city on this junction, drive down the bypass, and then come back into the city at the next junction. I don't know if the game's that clever. But that's the sort of real-world principle, if you like, to try and minimise in-city traffic. Stop people driving from this area here to this area here by going through the city streets. The idea is they come out onto the bypass all the way down, which is fairly free-flowing because we've got large roundabouts and we've got no traffic lit or stop signed intersections. They come all the way down, and then if they want the station, they can come down to here and then back in, and then just a couple of little streets to get around to get to the city itself. I don't play vanilla. Well, it depends. Not mods. Greetings, Grand Patron. No mods, but I do have DLC. So yeah, vanilla in that sense, but not vanilla as in I've just bought the game and I've not put anything extra on it. It does have some DLC. It's got the disasters on there. It's got green cities and mass transit. The disasters are what I really wanted on this game. Green cities is nice. I've got electric cars going around the city. I've got biofuel buses, recycling centres. What else? Some green power generation, all that sort of stuff. Mass transit disappointed me slightly. I've got the monorail running here, which is horrendously expensive for very little use. The bus lane facility that's available in mass transit, I've used it, but I'm not convinced it actually does that much. I think it just looks nice. I would have liked to have seen maybe a few more options, like the ability to define a road as for buses only, for example, or to have bus lanes on smaller roads. I think, if I remember right, you can't do bus lanes on 2-lane roads, which I suppose on the surface seems logical, but if you have a one-way road, you can have one side for buses and one side for cars. So I was a bit disappointed with the mass transit DLC, but hey ho, it is what it is. But in terms of mods itself, no, not at the moment. I have heard about is it the traffic manager mod, which might be quite useful, and I think that you can use to define what traffic goes on what roads. So I might be looking at that at some point. Network extensions 2 mod. Okay, I'll have a look at some point at those. Modding isn't something I've investigated, but it will be at some point. As I say, bus only route there. Can't get my words out this morning. Bus only roads would be fun. TMPE, is that the traffic manager one? That's the one I was thinking of, isn't it? TMPE. So say I've looked at them, but haven't put them on yet. But for example, we've got the bus interchange here with the monorail. Buses for the station at the other side of the city, they go down this elevated bypass, if you like. Now I would like to reserve that for buses only. And granted, it's not busy, but the intention was that this would be a very easy way for buses to get out of the city. They can get down to the big roundabout here and then out onto the bypass. So TMPE, yeah, I'll have a look at that at some point, but not today, not at the moment. I'm quite enjoying the game as it is, but these are little things that they're sort of real world things that will be nice to incorporate into the game, but it's not a high priority. So we are at 42,300. Population is just dipping slightly there. We've got demand for commerce and industry though. And I need to think where I'm going to start building industry. Now we've got a very complicated section over here which isn't particularly attractive, so it's probably worthwhile just filling in some stuff over here. Which means another road probably coming off at this three-way junction, which is going to congest that more than it already is, which will be a bit of a shame. Or it means another road off the roundabout, which is already getting busy. So yeah, over here is a complicated bit of road. We've got the bypass coming in here from under the hill, joining onto the big roundabout, and then continuing off this way. We've got a 2-lane road coming off here to bring you into the industrial area, and if you wish, round the commercial area, and then onto the residential area. So that has the potential to get quite busy. There's a lot you can get to going down there. And we've got a large road here, which takes you into the industry over this way and off to the cargo terminal, which tends to get very busy, although traffic is relatively light around here at the moment, which surprises me. But then we've also got the motorway or highway access, and I think that's why this road is getting particularly congested here and here, because I've made a nicer way in to the city. Now the nearest access for this motorway, well, we didn't have one. So we have the access from here, so you could interchange, I suppose, and then go up and then in. But to get to this area from the motorway, we had no access. So this is really a key way in on the motorway network. Does queue a little bit. It's not horrendous, I suppose, but because you've got this slip road coming off here, which is fine, but you've also got this slip road coming off here, and they both meet. So this route in here, this part of the slip road, is traffic from both directions on the motorway. But it is flowing, so it's not too bad. This is a bit of concern. this is backing up a bit. So I can't really do too much about it because I've got no access to this area of land at the moment. But if I get that at some point, then I might be thinking of taking off a branch of the road here and then bringing it round to the motorway on its own junction. What's your total traffic at? Well, that's a good question. How do I find that out? That'll be in one of these. Let's see. This button here. So this is my traffic overview. As we can see, it's congested. It is congested, and it is backing up more now, actually, since when I last started talking about this slip road. Traffic has got worse. So that might be something to think about at some point. But I'm not going to worry too much at the moment. I could bring the slip road off here, tunnel underneath, come out over this side, and then bring it on here. We do have a problem here, as we see. We've just got a red line here. Look for the really bad red spots here. So we can see there is a lot going on. This probably would need replacing at some point with a roundabout, I think. And yeah, just yeah, it's a bit all over the place. Traffic is a bit all over the place, though. If we look into the main part of the city, we can see we've got a lot of hot spots. As we look around here, I mean, this big roundabout is getting busy. The bypass isn't. So my plan of getting people to not drive down here to get this way may not work. And I suppose to get to the bypass from here is in itself a lot of driving through city streets. So I suppose if you're thinking, well, if you've got to drive through city streets to get up here, then you might as well just drive through city streets this way. But as the population grows and I unlock more abilities to get land, I would bring the bypass around here and have a junction around here, which might help. I feel a sneeze coming on. Do I feel a sneeze coming on? Ah! Don't you hate that? All through the last bit I was talking, I just thought, oh, I'm gonna get a sneeze. And I think it's gone. It might arrive suddenly. Warn your ears. Could be loud. Right, so we need some industry and we need some commerce. We've got industry here already. We've got a lot of traffic here, though, so we need to think carefully about how we're going to do this. I could bring industry down this side. So we've got a sort of a natural divide with the motorway here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring some industry down here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a 2-lane road and we're just going to continue this down. No, doesn't want to. Something's in the way. What's in the way that can't be demolished? Can't be that road, surely. Or can it? Are you really going to be that fussy, computer game? Come on. Surely you can. There we go. Right, and then we'll bring that down here. There we go. It's just being a little bit awkward. Let's go right down. Let's be bold. We'll go right down here. And I could loop it around. I could do a loop, but then we got a very long road. That's okay. Let's bring that back. I'm going to loop it around. Just bring this right back round. And then I'm going to reconnect up here. No, I'm not. Come on. Come on, I saw the blue. Where is it? There it is. Oh, come on. Not quite. Didn't quite get there. Try that again. There we are. This will probably end up horrendous, but we'll see. Most of my industry is office-based to keep the pollution levels down. Not 100% office space, but mostly. This will probably be way too much, but let's go crazy. There we are. Right. Oh, they'll want some water, won't they? They'll be fussy like that. Okay, let's bring this up here. So my policy with water is to keep everything as just one very wibbly wobbly loop. So I will take out this little interconnect here. My idea for that is to ensure that water stays clean and doesn't get contaminated at any point. There we go. Let's see, there we go. They are building, that is good. Now, over here I've kept the motorway on a surface level. Over time, I may reconsider that decision. That may end up going underground to free up the landscape. Well, the water thing is interesting because I'm fairly new to this game. Well, I've had the game itself for a couple of years. I haven't really got into it properly and played it. The first game I played back in the beginning of January, don't think it was the tail end of December, I think it was beginning of January, doesn't matter. Anyway, so the first game I played only got to 3,000 people, and it died. The city died. We can't even call it a city, can you, that many people? We call it a village, I suppose. Anyway, it didn't survive. I had huge problems with water. Pollution levels were at 40–50%. People were getting sick. I was building hospitals to deal with the sick people. Of course, that ate out all my budget, and I ended up pretty much bankrupt with only 3,000 people. I made sure my water intakes were upstream, the outlets were downstream to make sure they weren't getting polluted in that way. Didn't solve the problem. Yeah, exactly. I had the outlets way downstream, just like I do now, way downstream. We've got clean ones now because we've got the Green Cities mod DLC on there, so nice clean water coming out, but still, way downstream was the outlets, and the intakes were upstream to ensure they didn't get contaminated in that way. But still, there was pollution and contaminants getting in somewhere, and the way I'd had it was very much a grid of pipes. Thinking that, okay, if you have a break in one point, well, it shouldn't matter too much because the water can route through other directions. But it was all polluted, 40–50% pollution, people getting sick, and I could not solve it at all. So I started this city and decided, okay, this time we're going to have a long loop. Every time I put something in, we extend the loop. Yeah, okay, it goes all over the place, but ultimately, there is 1 or 2 points where I've not done that. But basically, the policy is we'll keep that loop going round. And yes, if there's a break, I have to get in there quick and repair it. But it seems to have worked this time round. And whether it's coincidence or not, it's the policy I've had with it since the beginning. And it's kept the pollution levels in the water right down at 0. If industry is too close to the water, that water would be polluted. Well, I can't remember where I put industry. I think maybe I did have it near to water. I honestly can't remember now. Maybe that was it. But regardless, it's worked this time. I've kept that sort of policy throughout, and I'm just going to keep doing it because it seems to work. Coincidence? Yeah, well, I thought it could be a coincidence. But without more experience in the game, I decided whatever I'm doing this time, it's working. It's doing the right thing. So I will stick with it. But yeah, the thought that it's a coincidence and I've done something different somewhere else did very much occur to me. But, you know, why change something that seems to be working fine? Other than, I suppose, the idea that, you know, during an earthquake or sinkhole or something like that, then you do get breaks and that can cause its own problems. I think as long as I get in there quick and make sure the repairs are done, those problems won't be lasting. Yeah, I've got the pollution overlay. I just had a little look at that one. We're very, very clean. I've got a little bit of pollution here by the river with the, is that recycling? I think that's recycling, yeah. And the original industrial state, which is up here, still has some legacy heavy industry. Most of this is turned over to offices now. All of this used to be heavy industry. Lots of it's turned over to offices, but we've still got some legacy stuff here. And we've got landfill. I think we've got incinerators here still. Yeah. Recycling facility. So that's what's causing the pollution there. And we can see another recycling facility over here, but that's way out of the way, not bothering anyone. And we've got some industry hotspots over here as well. What's this one? Oh, another incineration plant. I could probably decommission one of those, to be honest. And we've got a bit more industry here near the cargo terminal. So it's got its hotspots, but I try and keep those out of the way. And mainly, I'm zoning offices for industry now to keep things quiet and clean. Now we have a problem with getting workers in here, so I probably need to revisit the bus routes. Let's have a little look at public transport and see what's going on. So we've got a 2 bus system here, one going clockwise, one going anti-clockwise. Let's have a look at the overview. Okay, not too bad. Gosh, that X1 rail link, only 17 people. I might have to reconsider having that line. But never mind. Anyway, that's by the by. I wasn't looking at that. Now then, it may be worth extending the bus lines then around this loop, because they're looping around here anyway. So I think if we just move these stops, would help if I put it actually on the public transport section, wouldn't it? Let's bring that up here. Right, you go there, and you're looping around. Let's give you a bus stop over here. Where should we have it? Here? Not too close to the junction. That's fine. We'll have one over here as well. There we go. And then the bus going the other way around and do exactly the same thing. And we'll have the bus stops opposite. Hang on a minute, what's going on here? Wait. This looks complicated. I've decided stops. I want to move the stops. Right, get rid of one of them, and we'll bring the other one up here. Opposites. That's more like it. Right, it'll go around the loop as well, and we'll have a stop here, opposite the other one. And where did I put another one? Over here, wasn't it? There it is. Go, come on, click the line. There we go. Right. So yes, okay, this street loses its bus stop. So let's, well, we've got bus stops there. That's not too far away, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that just improves access for workers. There we go. People can get the bus. People are happy. Haven't got any metro stops around here at the moment, I don't think. I've got a line, but it stops at the station, so extending the metro might be a consideration around here at some point. Oh, now you're complaining. Well, just because the bus stop isn't opposite your office. Just because it's up here. Well, it probably is, isn't it? Alright. Have a bus stop. Have one there. There you go. Right. Stop your complaining. How many people on that bus? Nobody! Hooray! How many people on this one? Nobody. We'll see over time whether that does any good or not. Let's have a little look at the line overview for the E1. Yeah, well, they're probably the new stops, so we won't worry that they've got anything. Well, there's quite a few stops actually with or buses with 0 passengers on. We'll see how it goes. We'll give it time. Give it time to develop. People are getting on to school. This is a fairly busy bus stop, so the line is being used, which is nice. I do like watching the buses. Right. If you'll excuse me just for 2 seconds, I must go blow my nose. I'll leave it running. If something happens, tell me. Okay, so yeah, oh, we've got fire. We've got fire, and we've got no helicopters to sort that out. We had this before. Why does it burn here, specifically? You know, all you people, you just stand there at the bus stop, you gawp at the street that is rapidly starting to become ablaze because we've got all these trees and it's just all going to burn down. I should look at that in a minute. Oh dear, this is not good. Not good at all. I don't know why this... Did a car literally just go into a burning building? Madness. Buses are still stopping out. I find these little things... I know, you know, the game doesn't have the complexity to say, hang on, building's on fire, maybe the bus shouldn't stop there, but it does amuse me. We've got trees all along here. This whole street is going to burn. This is not good. Not good at all. Save a screenshot of that. Okay, where are the fire engines? Ah, well, we've got one. We've got two. Come on, we need... Hey, where are you going? Fire engine is just... Oh, can't be bothered. Disgraceful behaviour. Oh yeah, I've got fire engines approaching. So we've got 2, 3, 4. They're all arriving, which is good. Hopefully it can stem this disaster. We've got crime here at the building that's half burnt down but has been put out now. Bear with me. That's fine. I have to keep an eye on my emails as well for work, so every now and again I will be checking those. But I don't have to disappear off just yet, which is good. I want to see this get resolved. Hopefully these trees are far away enough from these buildings that they won't reignite. And the fire engines put this out, of course, but not the actual fire in the trees. So hopefully that won't reignite the building. We should expect another fire engine to arrive soon because we've still got this building burning. Where is the fire brigade exactly? Where is the fire brigade? I think this building is going to end up burning down. This is a dereliction of duty. Well, I was edging closer on the population to the magic 48,000, but we've just dropped off slightly here. We were at 43 and now we're at 40.5. There's the fire engine. Will it be in time? We might need another fire station. This has taken far too long. There we go. It was in time. But the trees are still burning. They'll burn out. My whole little forest here has gone up in smoke, which is sad. Now, last time this happened, I actually demolished all of the trees. Got rid of them all, assuming they wouldn't grow back. And then, well, no, I got rid of some, and then I realised they were growing back. So I'm not going to get rid of all this. They'll stay there. Hopefully it doesn't pollute the water. No, there's no pollution in the drinking water, so that's fine. But we need to think about fire coverage. We've got no fire coverage here, so fire engines are having to come in from all over the place. So I think we should probably sort that out. Okay, so we'll have a fire station or a firehouse. I think we'll have a fire station. We haven't got a fire station at this side of the river. So maybe I'll pop one in here. That will hopefully cover that. Well, it will cover that better. But because this area is burnt twice, I'm also going to put a fire station in here where it decides to fit. The only reason why it can't fit in there? Okay, it can go there. Should have read that. Never mind. Okay, so hopefully that will improve the response time. Now, what's going on? Got fire over here. Another fairly significant one, actually. We've got the fire engines responding, so that's fine. But again, trees are burning. It's the nature of the city now. We've got the natural disasters expansion on. Is that fires spread? So trees will burn, but I hope they will grow back. We've got some congestion here coming off the end of the motorway down to that intersection. Yeah, look, the fire is spread now to this building. It would be good to think about how this motorway works. This is the original motorway into the city. Originally, traffic would come off here at a junction here, but we brought the motorway right across with an exit here and an exit at the end to bring people down into the city, and this exit can also branch off here. This is obviously getting very congested now, and thinking about how this works would be useful. We've got fire here. Look, it's spread over to the other side. What's the fire coverage like over here? Almost non-existent on this road. Where's the nearest fire station? Why can't I see it? I'm just looking right in front. Because I've already got fire stations. I must be tired this morning. Yeah, so let's see, where were we? We've got a fire station here, but we've got very little. Well, that's a slip road, so there wouldn't be coverage there, but this section here is very, very limited in coverage. So can we get a fire station in here? Somewhere. Come on. There we go. Just to improve the coverage here. Oh, doorbell, excuse me. Right, that was the postman. I'm back. I have returned. Excuse the interruption. Running up the stairs. Sometimes I think I'm so unfit. And I'd be right. Okay, we need to stop this population dip. This is going the wrong way now. So we've got a demand for residential. Gosh, I'm out of breath. This was always going to be residential, so we're going to zone that in now. Going to have some roads branching off here. Just straight roads, don't need curves. Where was the last one that she cut through there? We're not going to cut through just yet. We'll cut through on this one. And one more. Hang on. These roads are too big. So change that. Buses shouldn't be going down there. The idea with the buses was they'd loop around. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't matter at the moment. Right, and this one can just go off here as well. Okay, let's zone some residential. Let's get some water running. And even though we think it's probably a coincidence that my water policy is working nicely in the sense that I do these loops, I'm going to keep doing it. Right, hopefully that will bring a population boost as people move into this new area. They've got easy access to the bypass. It should be quite a nice place to live. You're fairly close to the river. Easy access to the bypass, which brings you around to the other areas of the city nicely. Oh, we've got no water there. Oh yeah. Whoops. Okay, not a problem. I'm just going to bring this out here then. Like so. That didn't connect up. Silly me. Come on. There we go. And again, just take that out so we keep the loop. And we just need to bring this over here a bit more. Right. And again, just going to take out that to keep the loop. Okay. That should keep the industry people a bit happier. Now, of course, you can't get to that very easily from this residential area. You have to go all the way through. So it might be worth actually taking some of this out, bridging the motorway here, and then bring it down to one of these intersections. So let's see. We're going to be way too close, so we're going to have to rethink about this bit here. Sorry, buses. I'll restore them, don't worry. Just cut that through there. Hopefully that will fix the buses. And then we're going to bring this over. I'm just going to bridge the road. And then I'm going to bring it around to the roundabout actually, rather than an intersection, because I think that will be better for traffic flow. There we go. So these people can all very easily access that industrial estate. Need to sort out my spam captures on my work email. It's getting rather infuriating. Let's look at the bus network. Yeah, I've broken it. How annoying. I hate it when I do this because I usually can't fix it again. Is that going to fix it? Come on. Do fix it. Is but they just don't seem to want to join up. It's irritating, to say the least, because usually I find myself having to redraw the bus lines. That looks like it should be connected. I don't quite understand why. Because it's still saying it's 2 lines. It's I might have to look that up. City skylines. Reconnect broken bus line. How to fix broken bus lines. Move it somewhere else. How do you move it? Let's look at this one. Oops. Hide all lines except the broken one. Get the last stop on the line and move it somewhere else by holding over the top of it and dragging to another point. And then move it back. Grab the line from the centre and drag it to make... Doesn't work. No, this is what I've tried. It doesn't work. When the buses make the loop, the line is fixed. So I just need to be patient. Okay, I'll be patient. Where are the buses? Right, there's one here. Let's follow this bus. We're following the bus. Come on. There's nobody else there. You might as well go. And we're going to see what happens as it goes around the loop. Okay, we're going this way round. So there's a broken bus stop. Is it going to fix itself? No, the bus has disappeared. So that is irritating. Am I going to have to delete the line and redo it? That will be infuriating. So I'll have to remember where the devil it went. Which isn't too bad thinking about it. Actually, if I do one line at a time, because I've got the E1 and the E2. So if I delete the E2 and redraw it, and then I can delete the E1 and redraw it, because they're exactly the same. Let's go the opposite direction. So let's delete the E2 loop. I'm going to put in a new... Yeah, I know you're not happy about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then we're going to start a new loop. So it's here, but we're going this way round to here. No other bus stops there. Which way do I want to go? I think I want to go up here and then up here. Does that make sense? So I go in onto the roundabout, then up, and then which way? Sure, do I go down there? And then back? No. I'll do that at some point, so let's do that now. Okay, that connects us up. Except we're not going up here, so I need to... Well, that's loop doing its own loop, though, so maybe I don't... Well... I probably should. No, you know what? I'm going to leave that for now, and then I'm going to put the E1 loop in exactly the same, and then I'm going to think about how I extend them both back up here, because we've got a loop over here now. I probably don't need it looping back on itself. So let's go and delete. Right, let's first name this the E2. Give it its light pink hue, as E numbered buses get. Whoops. And then we delete the E2. Did I delete the right one? Yeah, I did. And then we're going to start that one again. So this time we're going from here and we're going to go this way. No, I've not done that right. That doesn't matter though. I'll connect it up and I'll extend it. Okay, so we go this way and we go. Just put a stop in there and then bring it up here. So this time the bus comes up, goes this way and goes this way around the loop. And then back around. And we name that now the E1 loop. And that restores partly that bus service. That's a nice pink hue. There we go. So we've got bus loops going in the two different directions. I just need to extend it up here and then bring the loop around this way. So let's look at the bus here and think about where that's going. Because at the moment it's coming up, it's looping around here, going around the roundabout and back in. It probably doesn't need to do that. So let's bring... Oh, I hate trying to think of these things. Right, it's going to go up here. And therefore this one also needs to go up here, but on the other side. Because they run exactly the same way, just on the opposite side of the road. Okay, that's good, that's fine. Except I don't want to come back down here, I want them to go over here. So I'm going to put another new stop in. And I'm going to bring it over here. And exactly the same on this one. And bring it over there. But that's interesting. So now we've got this one is looping around here. And this one is looping around here. I want them both to loop around the same place. So this needs to be going this way. So if I bring a stop in over here, and it probably needs stops anyway, so that's fine. Bring that into there. There we go. They're now looping around. Well, we've got an interesting little thing here which we don't want. So let's think about what's going on here. This one is coming down. And it's turning around. Why would it turn around there? I can see why it's doing it. Let's get rid of that stop. That then brings it down here and then onto the riverfront road. This one, why is that going there? Oh yeah, I've got to stop there. We'll get rid of that. Okay, right. So maybe it doesn't serve this area quite so well, but it does bring the buses on a bi-directional loop around the whole of this area. So we should be covering fairly well what's going on there. So the other option is to bring the bus up here and then to come across here rather than have a stop here, because we have got a stop there. But I'm not going to worry about that for the moment, because I've got no loops to be done here, because a lot of these roads, they don't cut through. This one cuts through and this one cuts through, but the others are dead-end roads. So I'm going to be happy with that for now. We're just going to see how it goes. Right, what's going on here? What are they not happy about? Too few services. What sort of services? I've not seen that one before. What services do you want? We've got buses, no fire, garbage collection, medical. Well, I mean, what are you not covered with? You're covered with buses, aren't you? I just literally put a bus route. Oh, I didn't. Ah. All right. I'll bring the bus down here then. There you go, a bus stop. There we go. That's some bus stops. Are you still going to complain? What's your fire coverage? You're covered by fire. That's not a problem. You're not covered by a police service. Nearest police station is up there. Okay, so that's a fair complaint. I'll let you off. Have a police station. Right. Don't complain. There are too few services now. You need to stop whining. Citizens wish more services were available in the area. What more do you want? It's an industrial area. There's no point putting a school in there or anything like that. That would be silly. How's the bus doing? 29 people on there, that's good. And that one's empty, but then that's because there's one right in front of it, and that's now filling up, so that's good. So the buses are being used. How about this one? 8. It's being used, that's good. As long as it's being used, I'm relatively happy. Population still hasn't grown. We've still got a drop on the population since the start of this stream, and that's really quite disappointing. At the start of this stream, we're at 43,000, and now we're down to 4396, where it's hovered for a while. We've got a demand for residential. I've got space, I can zone more residential, so that's not a problem. Let's do that now. Should be relatively well connected, this residential area. Some more riverfront properties going in. Let's see if that helps at all. We don't have much in the way of sort of nice amenities. We've got no, I mean, over the other side of the city, we've got a fair few leisure facilities. We've got no leisure facilities here, so that's probably something I should correct. I'm going to do that by way of a park, but we're going to have to think about a road to get to it. Because it has to be roadside. This is something that annoys me about the game, is everything has to be roadside. I'm going to bring in a gravel road from here. Just going to bring it up here like this. Just going to bring a gravel road along the back there, and we'll have some leisure facilities down here. So we'll have a nice park. And I think we'll put in some tennis. Where's the tennis? Is it there? No. There. And badminton, badminton. Basketball goes in there as well. Hopefully that will make the area a little bit more desirable. I don't know how this road is going to be coping with all these extra junctions. That should make this area that little bit nicer. People should be happier here. Should increase the land values. Let's have a look at land values, see what we've got. Is it that one? Yeah. So it's certainly high at the riverfront here. It's going a little bit lower as the noise level increases, presumably from these turbines. And we're increasing the land value here. We can see it all going up at the moment. And that's as we put these parks in. So that's good. This area is becoming desirable. Not like this. I mean, this is a very desirable area. Very high land values over here. And, okay, that's nowhere near as high, but, you know, it's not too bad. This is certainly the richer area of the city. But this riverfront area is very nice. And hopefully we'll see this increase in value. Which means hopefully people will want to live here. Why is this not being built? That's zoned, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to zone these as residential. I'm thinking more leisure facilities. This can be very much a leisure facility road. You know, we could put some... What have we got here? Put a sign going here. Can we just rotate that? Be nice. Why can't I rotate the sign? I can, I'm just not doing it properly. There we go. Other way. Now. What else do we have in leisure that I haven't really done much with? Botanical Gardens, dog park. Put a dog park in there as well. People can go and take their dog for a walk. This whole area is going to be leisurely, parky-like facilities. It will cost me money to run, I'm sure, but hopefully it will increase the value of the area. Maybe increase the desirability and the amount of people that live here. Let's have a look at the traffic overview, because I can imagine it get quite busy this road. Well, this section here is busy. Makes sense. It's a cut through between this quiet, what should be quieter riverfront road and the busier main road. So that sort of makes sense, I suppose. And it's got the buses on there as well. The roundabout is busy. There's a lot going on at this roundabout. Because we've got the junction here, which is traffic lit control. So as soon as this goes red, we start bringing a bit of a tail back onto the roundabout. I can hear the little chirps, the little dings as the land value is going up, so that's nice. I'm pleased about that. What do we have in unique buildings? Anything nice that will be good over here? Not the Grand Central Terminus, no, that'd be silly. Brandenburg Gate, no. I don't want the Winter Market. So I've used a lot of these already over in the main part of the city. Statue of Wealth, Lazarette Plaza. Statue of Shopping, that should go over by the department store really. And Plaza of the Dead. I used to have a Plaza of the Dead outside the hospital. What sort of sick mind am I to put a Plaza of the Dead outside the hospital? Friendly Neighbourhood Park. That's nothing special, is it really? Let's put one of them in. I can only have one. So very, very green area. Got a neighbourhood park, a dog walking place. We've got basketball, we've got tennis, we've got a general park. All accessed off this gravel road, which is getting lots of cars parked on it. Typical. I mean, people should walk. This is for this area. People should walk. Leave your car behind. Use those feet. And walk. Left foot. Right foot. One after the other. Don't forget how to do it. Just because you've got a car. Or bicycle. There are no bicycles in this game. That disappoints me. Right, have we arrested that population decline? We're at 40,665. That's a slight increase of about 300 people. Demand for residential areas has dropped. We've got demand for commerce, which I'm thinking should go over by the department store somewhere, really. I've got to be careful, though, how I do that. Don't really want too much coming off this roundabout because we've got a lot of traffic coming onto it. And a lot of traffic coming onto it this side as well. So it really needs a bit of a think. So to get to the department store, you go onto the roundabout, you come off down here off Phillips Bridge, onto this road, Phillips Street, which is a one-way road. You loop around all the way here, and then you're out to the front. There are no bus services at the moment covering the department store, which should probably be corrected. If I was to run a bus service, where would I run it to and from? Would it be a loop? Would it be an up-down line? It's a good question. I don't want to crowd the buses on here, so I'm thinking we could have a service go down this way. This can be the E3, because we've got no buses here now. So maybe we go down here. Go out onto the bypass. Go round. Where do we come off here? Put stops in here. Literally loop around. Do a few stops. And then we loop back again. Onto the bypass. Around. And back down. And then around the roundabout to loop back round. How does that work? Does that look like it works? That looks like it works. That can be the E3. The E3 line. Gets a pink hue because it's an E numbered bus. So they all get similar hues. So I can see quickly when I look at the line overview, I can see quickly which ones are sort of grouped together, as well as using the numbers, of course. All the E numbered buses are around here. All the S numbered buses are in this larger area here. All the N numbered buses are here, and the X numbered buses cross the river. That's the plan anyway. Right, we're nearly back up to 41,000. Hopefully then that's a good sign. We've changed the slight population drop since today's session started. It looks very unlikely today now that we're going to get to 48,000. In fact, I'd say it's probably a near certainty. I'll speed things up. I mean, I'm going to save the game because I've had a crash before and I'd hate to lose everything I've done. That would be a disaster. So we can speed things up to see how things play out over the next few days of game time. Excuse me. But unless there's a really massive population jump now, we're not getting to the 48,000 today. But we can really see how the traffic levels are playing out. There's a lot going around this roundabout. This is a custom built, well, partly custom built roundabout. This originally was a small roundabout and I've upgraded the road to the same grade of road as a large roundabout, which is a 3-lane highway. So it almost certainly flows better than it did, but it's still pretty much at capacity. We see a lot of times the traffic just comes to a stop, particularly as we get a red light here. Okay, it wasn't too bad that time, but traffic can build up from the red light onto the roundabout. So we see a bus looping around. That'd be the E3. Oops. That's the E3. Let's follow that for a bit. There are 22 people on this bus. Let's see where they go. So we get a bit of traffic building up here because we've got 2 buses in the bus stop. So obviously they've clumped together, which is typical of a bus, isn't it? You wait for ages and 2 come along at once. So we've still got 10 people on the bus. Some people got off there. And we haven't replaced that population of bus travellers. We're stopping again. Are they all going to get off? 3 people get off. We've still got 7. Where are they going to go? They're going to go all the way to the, well, not necessarily to the department store, but to the bus to a bus stop near it. Okay, yeah, we're on to the bypass, so travel should be fine from here as we go down to the department store area. Here we are. We'll come off the roundabout. Onto the one-way loop. Let's see. Does everyone get off here? One person gets off. Still got 6. How many are going to go get round to the actual department store itself? Nobody got off on that one. Still got 6. Oh, one person off. So 5 people then, it looks like, are going to get off at the department store, unless they're going to... There we go, 5 people off. Anyone on? Nobody on. That's interesting. People got off, but no one's getting on. That's a shame. That's a horrible junction to get onto that roundabout. The angle's completely wrong. And then we just take the bypass and we go all the way back. There we are. So that was congested for the E2 or the E1. 13 people on board. There's an E3 again behind me, so we have got a bit of bunching up going on with these buses, so we might be running too many. That's a very busy stop. So we might be running too many, actually that might not be the case. People want the bus, but they're not taking it necessarily all the way to the department store. They literally travelled 1 stop. I don't get that sometimes. They've literally travelled 1 stop. Almost a full busload of people. We've still got 1 person on the bus. But 29 people got on at 1 stop and they literally got off at the next one, and it was just down the road. You could have walked. I mean, okay, you're paying me money for the bus tickets, so that's something. I don't have free public transport anymore. I used to, but not anymore. We've got 18 people. Is it going to be the same sort of situation as before? I'm not going to watch this all the way down to the department store again. But we can see a lot of people just take it 1 stop. There's a lot of people getting on that side and they'll get off again in 1 stop. I know, I've only got 3 people this time. And then off to the department store area. So this is not a very busy loop. It moves people around this street more than it takes people to the department store, which is interesting. Right, 42,000. We're almost back up to where we were when we started the stream, if I remember correctly. I think that was at 43. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes and see if we can build that back up to 43. But we've made some progress over here in terms of expanding the residential development, in terms of putting in some leisure facilities. I have some other stuff to put in terms of leisure. I think somewhere I've got... is it in here? No, it might be in health, actually. Yeah, I've got a community pool I want to put in at some point. I've got a sports hall and gymnasium, which really they should go together, ideally. And it might be worthwhile, not necessarily medical helicopter depot, but under firefighting. Where is it? This one? Yeah, fire helicopter depot could be useful. Costs quite a lot a week though, and that's probably half of my excuse me, half my profits will end up being spent on that. So I have to think whether I want to do that. Oh, look, you can set off your own disasters. Not doing that now. So 42.3, we are just slowly increasing back up to where we were. It's disappointing to have that drop, because I was hoping that this was going to go the right way. Not necessarily to hit the milestone today, but just pushing it more towards it, maybe to get to 45, 46,000. We were just in shouting distance of getting to that 48,000 population, which will give me a few other options. Let's see what it would be. So next one, Colossal City, gives me another 2 kilometre by 2 kilometre square. Oh, we've got water problems. Oh, we've got big water problems. Okay, let's address that. Why have we got big water problems over here? Water availability is fine. Apparently. That's doing fine. That is interesting. And up here. Oh, oh. What's going on? Everything powered? Everything's powered. It's just dropping out. Yet the water availability seems fine. Okay, well I'm going to put a new water pump in. Because it might be that this section is not producing enough. Because we're on this side of the river, not the other side. So the overall capacity is fine. But we just don't have enough on this side. Because I think they're separate. Yeah, this is its own water network. So what happened there was a lack of capacity. Okay, glad I've spotted that. So a lack of capacity in this area. Not of the city overall. The city overall was fine in terms of its global, if you like, pumping capacity. But these two areas are on these intakes. This area is only on this intake, these two intakes here. I haven't got them hooked up yet. It's its own loop. It goes around a complicated loop of pipes and then down to the outlet. Drain pipe, that's the one. Right, that'll sort that hopefully. We've got some garbage collection problems over here. Let's have a look at that. They're all on green, so they should be able to collect. The trouble will probably be, again, it's just capacity in this area. Let's have a look and see what this is doing. Well, 11 out of 19. Well, you could do more, couldn't you? What's this actual reserves? There's a gap. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Got a potential earthquake. Okay, we're going to carry on. We are carrying on. The game is saved. It's only a 1.3. And it's out of the area. That's fine.
An earthquake is occurring. Don't panic and wait for help if you are in the affected area.
We'll go to disaster destruction and see what happens. Fortunately, the centre of the quake is out here, and it's actually not within the city itself. Okay, let's have a look at the report. So this one did not suffer any damage. We were fine. Minor quake, no problems. It's outside of the city limits. I mean, it was within the city limits as far as the game was concerned. It's within the boundary because I've got access to the ocean here. But far enough away from actual structures and infrastructure and all that. So we're good. We're fine. Let's just hope it's not a precursor of something larger. Okay. Right, we're back up at 43,663. We're back up where we were. We've reversed the population decline, which is good. Like I say, I really wanted today to be edging towards the next milestone. Didn't occur, unfortunately. We had a population drop rather than the growth. Would have been nice to have got it to 46,000. Maybe, yeah, 46 would have been good. Then we would have been in shouting distance for another stream, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday or whenever, to actually hit that milestone. Didn't happen today. When I do hit the milestone, the objective will be to extend the city this way, I think, to extend the route of the ring road around this way. So if I have a look at the areas, the squares, So it'll be this area here. So I wouldn't be able to extend all the way around because I'd be looking at the boundary out here. But I would be able to extend the ring road around here. Or would I? Actually, no, I probably wouldn't. Short of redeveloping the industry area here, no, I wouldn't. That's a shame. The other option is to not worry about that too much and to put in a new area here, which would square this off. And then rather than having the ring road, which starts here at the moment, which follows this line up to the roundabout and then branches left to go under this hill and up, because it has to essentially follow this boundary. I can, if I buy that, I can bring the ring road up on a more natural line and a more square line up here and around here, and that will free up this area here to develop within the boundaries of the ring road. So that might be the next option. I should think about putting a harbour link in. That's why I bought this square over here, was to put a harbour link in. So that would be something to think about soonish. But otherwise, yeah, it's just been really... Today has been just pottering about. I did say today we'd be pottering about. I didn't say I was going to get to the milestone. It is a little disappointing I didn't... No, I can't think like that. It's disappointing that the population went the wrong way. I wasn't going to get to the milestone today. It's disappointing that I didn't get closer to it. That's what's gone wrong today. But the city carries on. The city is doing fine. We've extended the residential areas. We've extended the industrial areas. We've repaired and extended bus routes. So there's been development. There's been change. It's all been focused over on the eastern area of the city, which is coming along nicely compared to how it was this time last week, where this was all just empty and a mess. It's a lot tidier than it used to be. So I need to be pleased. That's the outcome of the game today. Right, I'm going to call it there. I will say thank you very much for watching today. If you haven't followed, do follow. Click the follow button, click the notification icon. Make sure you know when I'm broadcasting next. You can keep following the development of this city. This is the only city I'm working on City Skylines at the moment. I'm doing nothing else, just keeping this one growing, achieving the milestones, surviving disasters as they occur. Today's disaster was minor and didn't affect the city in any way whatsoever, so that was fortunate. But they do occur occasionally, and we just have to deal with them as they occur. So yeah, hit the follow button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you keep an eye on twitch.tv/BG2019UK. I will try and keep my schedule updated on there. It's roughly between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. Weekdays I will start for roughly an hour to an hour and a half, finishing about now around 11 o'clock just after. This is all work dependent, so if work comes in, I'm afraid the streams do have to get pushed down into sort of a second priority, if you like, which is disappointing. But that's life, isn't it? So keep an eye on there, twitch.tv/BG29UK. You can also follow me on Twitter to see when I'm next streaming, what I'm doing. That is at BenPlaysGB, at BenPlaysGB over on Twitter. But I will say thank you very much once again for watching. Catch you next time. Do join me again, and we'll see how this city develops. Oh, and of course there are other things going on this channel. Over the course of this week, again, work dependent, I will be playing Horace, a bit more of the platformer game that I've done a couple of hours on so far. I'll also be playing a bit more Mark of the Ninja, and I need to think about a new retro game for Throwback Thursdays, if I can get time to do it, of course. So, any suggestions, send them through to me if you want to see anything particular. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.